Hi, I'm Trevor Barbrick, a developer here at Kula Partners, and today I'm going to talk about considerations when setting up a new e-commerce website. The first question you need to ask is if they're currently using an e-commerce platform. If they are they using one they host themselves, like Magento, WooCommerce, PrestaShop, or Zencart, or are they using a hosted solution like Shopify, Amazon, BigCommerce, or Volusion? If they are already using an e-commerce platform, is there going to be a data migration required? Data migrations might include products, customers, or orders, and it might also include images or other assets. If they do currently have products, how many products do they have? And what is the effort going to be in order to migrate those products? Is this something that can be manually entered, or are you going to need to script and import? Oftentimes, scripting and import can be a lot more work than what is actually going to take to just manually enter the products, so that's something you need to consider before you dive into it. What type of data do they have? Do they have spreadsheets? Is there an API or a database, or are they going to provide a Word document or PDF that contains their product information? And is this something that is only going to happen once at the beginning of the build, or will it need to be recurring? If it is recurring, how frequently does the data change and how do you manage that? You also need to consider what types of products they're selling. These might be simple products. Those are products that have a weight. The inventory is usually managed and these are shipped. Or it could be downloadable products like software or ebooks. With downloadable products, the downloads are often restricted. You cannot download the product until you purchase it. And there might be a time restriction. With software, perhaps you can only download the product for a year after purchase. And then there's services and virtual products. These might be online bookings, memberships, or other subscriptions. Product attributes are something you need to consider. Attributes are things that describe products. This might be a color, a size, or a weight. And often you can use an attribute when you're purchasing a product to customize the product you're purchasing. There's also categories. Those might be pants, shirts, or shoes, and you use these to group products together. Categories could also be something like a manufacturer, a model, or a brand, and you might use those when you're searching or browsing the products to organize them better. You also need to display the attributes. And like I mentioned, you may want to customize products by an attribute. For instance, if you're buying a shirt, perhaps you could pick blue or red or green, or you might be able to pick a small, medium, or large. Customers are the most important part of any e-commerce website, whether that is business or it's a user. You need to think about what types of restrictions you have on customers. Are you going to allow guest checkouts? Is there only certain countries or regions that can purchase? And is there different customer types? Do you have retail customers and wholesale customers? There's also account functions that you need to consider. Will you have saved credit cards? Are you going to allow order history and reordering? And can customers add reviews to your website? And there's tracking. You'd always want to track your customers so you know what they're doing and how that informs their purchase history. You can use Google Analytics or HubSpot or any variety of other tools to do that. Taxes are something we can't get away from, so we need to really consider what taxes are required, if there's any currencies that are required, and if there's any special considerations that go along with those. So taxes, you have to think about what countries they sell to. You need to know the accurate tax rates for the region. And is there any specific requirements or custom rates? For example, here books are taxed at a lower rate. There's also some products that are excluded from taxes, or there's bottle deposits that have flat rates. And currencies, you need to know what currencies are going to be supported. Is this just Canadian dollars and US dollars, or are there other currencies at play? Will their payment method support those currencies? And you need to be able to get accurate exchange rates. Exchange rates are updated frequently, so you need to have a method of ensuring those stay in sync. And you need to display the local currency for the user. So if a user is in the United States and they're visiting a Canadian website, but you also offer pricing in US dollars, then that should be displayed to them. Are multiple languages required? We all know about translating website copy, but often you'll need more than just that. You may need to translate the product copy as well as the attributes and categories. And how do you offer the different languages? Does the user select a language, or are you going to use geolocation to try to determine what language should be displayed? Payment methods are important because we all like to get paid. So do they currently use a payment method? Is there a POS system that might need to integrate with? And what are the details of that? Those integrations could be very complex, so you'd want to find out as much as you can early on, as that will inform some of the decisions you make later. Will they be accepting simple payment methods like check, money order, cash on delivery, or invoicing? And if so, when do they ship the products if those are physical goods? There's also online payment methods like Stripe, PayPal, Moneris, Beanstream, or Authorize.net. Those are some of the more popular ones. If they're already using a payment method, you need to be able to ensure you're able to work with that. And does the payment method they've chosen support the currencies they need to support or the types of cards they need to support? And if they offer recurring subscriptions, is that supported by the payment method? So shipping is something that you'll need to do with simple products. Physical goods need to be shipped. If they have any physical goods, what shipping providers are they currently using, or do they need to come up with a new shipping provider? You could also use flat rate or free shipping or table rates, and sometimes there's in-store pickup available as well, so those are all things to consider. If they are using a current provider, is this a regular mail service like Canada Post or USPS, or is this a courier like FedEx, UPS, Purelator, DHL, and how are we going to integrate with those services to get the rates? Promotions are a great way to encourage more sales, but you need to give a lot of thought into how you're going to use those promotions and what will work the best. This is also something that you'll want to keep an eye on your reporting as you perform different types of promotions to see what's working and what isn't. Some kinds of promotions that you might try are coupons and sales. These can expire or they could be good all the time. You might also want to use buy one, get one, or buy this, get that, buy 3 of this, get 1 of this, those types of things. You also might want to upsell or use cross-sells. It's a good idea to show related products on a page, and email and exit offers are also a great way to boost engagement. You can also consider using abandoned carts to reach out to customers and try to get those sales as well. If there's an integration required, there's a number of things you need to ask, as these can be quite complicated. Have we worked with the provider before? Do they have documentation? Do they have developer access so that we're able to test this without using live data? And is this a refined product, or are they working on it as we are? If a customer can't find a product, you're not going to make a sale, so you need to give a lot of consideration into how you'll display your products. Both browsing products and searching products are important. A robust search tool is important, and it needs to be able to index, and you should be able to filter by different attributes and categories as needed. Featured products are a great way to increase visibility. This might be within content, whether it's your site content or a blog, or it could be on other product pages. Featuring a product and highlighting them helps a customer discover new products that they might not have realized they needed or wanted. Tracking and reporting is also an important part of an e-commerce website because you need to know what works. You need to know how much money you're making and how you made that money. But it's not always that simple. So it's more than just how much did you sell. You need to look at the data and how people got to your website, how they interacted with your website, and what drove them to make the purchase they did. You can use Google Analytics, VWO, or HubSpot. They all have excellent uses, and there's many other tools you could implement as well. Built-in reporting can also be a helpful tool. It can give you insight into your sales as well as your inventory levels. And abandoned carts can give you a great idea as to what sales you lost and how you lost them, and it might be an opportunity to salvage those lost sales. So the goal is always to improve sales. So put your data to work. You want to analyze this data and decide what you're going to do to turn it around and to improve your sales. That's all for now. Thank you for listening, and I hope you found this interesting. I hope you were able to learn a little bit about what you need to think about when you're setting up a new e-commerce website.